AI videos are coming at us real fast, and I think this is going to be really useful for teachers as it gets a little bit smarter. So I use this service called InVideo, which is ai.invideo.io, and teachers are probably going to want to use this stuff for things like explaining basic concepts, helping students get engaged a little bit with the content. And so I wanted to try this out. I gave it about a 2 or 3 line prompt. I'll show you in just a second what it came up with. It's not that engaging right now, and it's not all right, and it's not the things that I would talk about, but it is interesting to see where we are right now. And there are certainly options inside of here to make some edits, to do all the different types of things that you might want to do to make it better. But right now, with a quick version, it made it very fast, but I'm not sure that this is what I would want to give to my students.
Ever found yourself mulling over whether to use the, a, or an in a sentence? Well, you're not alone. This is one of the most common conundrums for people learning English. Today, we'll unravel the mystery of these tiny words that pack a big punch, the definite and indefinite articles. Let's dive into the world of indefinite articles first. A and on are the two indefinite articles in English. They introduce something not specific to the listener. Now you might ask, when do we use a and when do we use on? It's simple. Use a before words that start with a consonant sound, and on before words that start with a vowel sound. For example, you would say a cat, but an apple. Now onto the definite article, the. This one's a bit more straightforward. You use the when you're talking about something specific that the listener is already aware of. For instance, you would say, the book on the table, not a book on the table, if both you and the listener know which book you're referring to. Here's a quick tip. The can be pronounced in two ways, the before vowel sounds and the before consonant sounds. So you would say the apple, but the cat. But of course, like all things in English, there are exceptions. There are times when we don't use an article at all. For example, with uncountable nouns like water or information, with plural nouns when talking about things in general, and with some geographical places like Mount Everest or Lake Victoria. In summary, remember these key points. A and on are indefinite articles used when you're introducing something not specific. Use a before consonant sounds and on before vowel sounds. The is a definite article used when you're talking about something specific. It's pronounced the before vowel sounds and thu before consonant sounds. And remember, there are times when no article is needed at all. So next time you're caught in the a on the dilemma, remember these rules. They'll help you navigate the tricky waters of English articles with ease and confidence. Remember, practice makes perfect, so keep using these articles in your day-to-day conversations. You'll be a pro in no time.
The basic prompt that I gave to this to make was something along the lines of give a fun and engaging explanation of definite and indefinite articles for someone who's learning English, and make it easy to understand at the CEFR A2 level. So that's what it should have been. We can take a look at this and see what kind of came out. You saw from the video before, but look at this language. Ever found yourself mulling over whether to use the or a? It's like mulling over whether, and it's like, no, there's no way a CEFR A2 level student would understand that. You can go in here and edit these things, which is really cool. So, once it gets started, maybe you can play with it. Maybe I could have reprompted it to come up or to retry again with easier language. You can see here that I can change these photos. It comes from iStock Photo. These ones come with watermarks, and so obviously I'd want to get rid of those. You can replace it with your own things. But again, these videos are just they're not really related to what I'm saying. They're just kind of vaguely out there. And so it's almost like having a karaoke background video, where it's like, okay, there's mountains and there's people holding hands, and I guess that's a love story. I don't know. And so it's kind of the same kind of idea where it's like, oh, okay, it found the words English and teach and study and something like that, and it kind of has those rough images going along. But here's the real thing. If you are teaching your students, they are going to be so much happier to hear your voice and to use your expertise to understand what's going on rather than doing something like these AI type of videos. They can be cool, but they're going to create a lot of junk out there that's not specific to your own students' needs, and then it's just going to fill up the internet with more and more digital garbage, which none of us need. Focus in on spending the time to make something that's actually valuable for them and where they can hear your voice and know that you're working for them. Also, it's not specific at all here, and maybe I could have made some changes, but your student base changes and your students' needs change. And so, for example, this might make something really general, but if I've got students from China, maybe I'd put that information in a different way than I would if I had a bunch of students from Saudi Arabia. So, pay attention to these things. They're worth looking at. It's kind of fun, and I think that there's some stuff that's going to come down the line that's going to work with this. But right now, I'd still say it's probably a little too early to want to do this seriously, but great to experiment with and be ready for it as better and better functions come out in the future.